What's something many people don't realize is actually rude to do or say? Asking my wife why she's still single at 35 made me lose my best friend. When I first met Jessica at work, her desk was right next to mine. She was brilliant at her job, but super private about her personal life. Anytime someone asked about her dating life, she'd smoothly change the subject. My best friend Pete had been divorced for 2 years and was finally ready to date again. One day at lunch, he saw Jessica's photo on my desk and wouldn't stop asking about her. Said she was exactly his type. I figured why not? They're both great people. At the company Christmas party, I introduced them. Pete seemed nervous but excited. Jessica was polite but distant, like usual. As they talked, I noticed Pete getting more animated while Jessica kept checking her watch. Finally, he asked for her number. She hesitated, then said she doesn't date coworkers' friends. Pete looked crushed. Later that night, Pete texted me, "Why didn't you tell me she was one of those career-obsessed women? At her age, she should be grateful anyone's interested." I brushed it off as him being hurt. But over the next few weeks, Pete kept making comments. Must be something wrong with her. Probably has crazy standards. She'll end up alone with cats. One Friday, Jessica wasn't at her desk. Sandra from HR mentioned she'd taken a personal day. Pete happened to be having lunch with me in the office cafeteria when Jessica walked in. She looked different, exhausted, eyes red like she'd been crying. Before I could stop him, Pete went over to her table. I couldn't hear everything, but I caught bits. "You're not getting younger," and "biological clock," and "being too picky." Jessica's hands were shaking. She stood up so fast her chair fell over. Everyone turned to look. That's when she lost it. "You want to know why I'm single? My husband died 3 years ago. Today would have been our anniversary. He had a brain aneurysm while we were grocery shopping. I watched him collapse in the cereal aisle, held his hand in the ambulance, spent 72 hours in the ICU before they declared him brain dead." The cafeteria went silent. Jessica wasn't done. "I still wear my ring some days, still have his voicemail saved, still can't sleep on his side of the bed. So yes, I'm single at 35. Yes, I focus on my career, and yes, I have impossibly high standards because I already had perfect once." Pete tried apologizing, said he didn't know. Jessica just walked out. I found out later that her husband was an ER doctor. They met in college, dated for 8 years before getting married, had been trying for a baby when he died. She transferred to our office for a fresh start, away from all the memories. Pete kept texting me, wanting me to help fix things, said he felt terrible. I told him there are some things you can't fix, some wounds you don't get to pour salt in just because you're curious. He got angry, said I should have warned him. That's when I lost it. Told him maybe instead of judging a woman for being single at 35, he should have wondered why his marriage failed at 32. We haven't spoken since. Jessica still works next to me, still private, still brilliant at her job. Sometimes I catch her twisting her ring when she thinks no one's looking. Last week, she finally took off her ring, put it in a small wooden box on her desk. Yesterday, she mentioned she's going to grief counseling. Baby steps. Pete started dating a 23-year-old from his gym, posted about finding someone who hasn't let life make her bitter. I blocked him on everything.